Tokyo. There was something at home that she couldn't find. There was something on the road that made her come alive in Tokyo. Like a remedy to soothe her troubled mind. But the shadows on the road bring it all to life in Tokyo. There was something at home that she couldn't find. There was something on the road that made her come alive in Tokyo. Like a remedy to soothe her troubled mind. But the shadows on the road bring it all to life in Tokyo.
Hi, Emerald Moon. Emerald Moon. Hi. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you like the game. I seen you being an active member for quite some time. Thank you for supporting us. Hi everyone. Thank you for watching us while while our friend Patty draws. I'll talk a little bit about the game. If you have any questions regarding the future of the game, any ideas you want us to include, please let us know. I'll be here a couple of minutes, give or take 40 minutes. once again. Thanks everybody for being here.
Dex. They say I'm a beast, and so wild to pick up the pace and they all got to go. No doubt about it, a rider. To all my legends that started to glow. And that's how I'm a driver. So they all test me when I'm on the road. But I'm
Saludos CDMX. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Paisano. Hi Robert, welcome. Trying to find a nice song. Put something more decent. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. Any suggestions? You might guess by the drawing what kind of image it is. Typical anime image. Oh my god. I started the game 4 years ago. I invited a friend of mine who was at the time a comic book artist. His name is Drake. Well, it was. So we started talking about the game, the possibilities. This guy was a legend when it came to naughty drawing. So I invited him and we started working on that. At the beginning, it was only him and I, and he designed most of the main characters. The main character, Chloe, Sophie, Frida, Ginger. I did some input, but he was the creator for most of them. And sadly, he passed away, so now his students are the one working with me. Hello, Clipper. Welcome. Thanks for coming. So it's been a long ride, ups and downs. We lost one of our main artists with break. He fell ill and sadly passed away 3 years ago now. 2 years, 3 years ago, 3 years ago. So now his students are the ones working with me. And yeah, well, and I always been a fan of the games, and this genre in particular, I liked it. I saw a lot of games. Some of them were really nice, some of them were not so good, and I thought we could do something better. And well, 4 years later, here we are. The game started 2020, so it's 4 years now. Veronica is a complicated character. Her physiology, it's a bit hard to draw because it's really complicated to create a character with those proportions and make it look real, because there's a lot of animes and cartoons and where they draw the girls with big boobs, but they look really weird, fake, too unreal. So Brianne was a challenge to make her as real as possible, as well, not a common girl, but a girl that you could stop into one girl like her with those. The first character created was actually Chloe. She was the first character we created. When I talked to Break, we were trying to come up with an idea. So he sent me four or five possible characters, and after some talks, that was the end product. Then the second character was Sophie. The third character was the main character, but we needed to first start it with who they were gonna be the main conquest and the easiest conquest. That's where Sophie and Chloe came. Then we created a very generic person in the main character. So we didn't want to make him very tall, very fat, very thin, blonde, or anything that could be very specific to a person. So we created a character who was really common, so everybody can relate to that character. But yeah, our first character was actually Chloe. That was our first character created. When the first version of the game came out, the game only had Sophie, Chloe, and the main character. That was the only three characters we had. And it ended right after Sophie greeted you at your home later that night. That's where the first version of the game ended. Now we have 24 girls. Well, if we count the twins, 27. We'll eventually bring them back, but we haven't had the time or the money to create a story for them. But yeah, we will eventually bring back the twins. This one is created in Clip. It used to be called anime something, but right now it's Clip. This is created in Clip. Photoshop, it helps, but this program, it's a little bit more focused for this kind of thing, for drawing. Photoshop is very generic for a lot of things, but for drawing, I think Clip is better. It's more specialized. Thank you for the questions. I never learned how to draw. I actually do coding, but it amazed me how patient and how good of an eye artist has to have to create. For example, here the hair has to have a clear idea what they want and then draw it. Right now we're already kind of working on the next version. We already have established who's gonna get an update, and I think we're gonna start circling back to the characters. It's already time to expand Sophie's story. We haven't touched Sophie's story. We already given some hints, but not something related to her actual story, and we'll start doing that and start making progress with the characters they're not very like Tara, like Ratti, like Lillian. Those characters will have also, eventually they'll have also stories, but I think we'll start with Sophie. We need to start doing something with her story. My artists hate me when I create characters with this complex of a hair. Looks like a Medusa. But the patron, that's what he asked. He wanted a girl with a lot of hair. So it's complex, but it gives her a sexy side. Now we're starting to clean a little bit the hair, removing the lines that shouldn't be there to give depth. Some hair should be in the front and some should be in the back. And our poor main character has fallen on top of our busty character. Yeah. Now we're with the body of the hottie. Big round boobs. I hope we don't get our video taken down by YouTube. It's not legal to draw these sort of things. By far was well, the coding. Well, actually, the coding I think it was Ginger. Since Ginger, her clothes have a lot of layers, it was really hard to code her, and especially because when we start coding her, I didn't have a lot of idea on how to code. I just started coding on Python or RenPy by trying on the game. So it was for me new back then. So it was really hard to code it. Right now I could code it easier because I have more experience. But when it comes to code, I think Ginger was the hardest one. When it comes to drawing, it's by far Gran. She has a lot of hair, and it takes a lot of, and it's not only the hair, it's because she has lights on the hair. The color changes depending on in the area of the hair. So it's really hard to keep it similar in every single scene because you have to be, it has to be similar. Otherwise, people will know that the character, for example, has darker hair in one image and lighter hair in another image, has lights in some, doesn't have lights in another one. So drawing, it was Gran. Coding was Ginger. Well, in fact, I think yeah, Ginger was the hardest one to code and Gran was the hardest to draw. The monster girls, they were fun to draw, but they weren't that complicated. It was hard to make them different because if you see in a lot of anime characters, the cats are really hard to tell. The cat folk is hard to tell from fox or wolf. So we had to make them really stick out between them. So it was a little hard, very complicated to design, not to draw, to design. Once we had the design established that we needed one with longer hair, puffier tail, it was relatively easy to draw. But to design, it was really hard for our artists to specify which one will have long hair, long ears, short ears, more animal-like features, puffier tail, longer tail. But once we had the designs figured out, it was relatively easy to draw. A lot of our players gonna wish to be the main character in this sim. Yeah. Sticking his face in the middle of those jumbos. I think the hardest part to code are the mini games, and most players don't like them. I like to add them because it gives a little bit more challenge to the game. Otherwise, it would be just a visual novel. But I like adding a little bit of the challenge to the game to make it more interesting. Otherwise, people will just press skip, and there won't be any challenge. But to be fair, we added the ability to skip the minigame to our patrons, and just the free version has to play the game. except for the putting oil in the back, because at the beginning it was giving us a lot of problems. For some reason the energy of the player didn't reset, it kept lower, so it was really hard for players to finish the game. But I think that bug has been fixed, but we still let the skip button option for anyone who wants to skip it. I think one of the hardest things to do as an adult game developer is the promotion. It's really hard to promote the game because you cannot pay in regular sites to promote the game, like Facebook, Twitter. It's not legal to promote pornographic content. So we have to rely on other developers and make cross promotion. That helps a lot. So that's how we promote the game. And I think that's the hardest part of the game, the promotion. We've seen that most of the players like their game, like our game. We've seen a lot of games where people pay for one time and they don't pay again because they didn't like the game. The lack of story, lack of the scenes were look blunt. But most of our patrons pay for our game, so we think that's a sign that people like our game. And well, allow us to continue thinking in creative, funny, naughty stories. I think this version of the game is gonna be out probably one week and a half, 7 days. Most of the images are already made, so I think we're gonna be 24, 25 launching the release of this version. I invited to join us in the chat Tito, who is our dialogue creator too, and the girl that helped us with recording the special effects for the sex scene, but they couldn't make it. So hopefully next time they'll be here. I always try to do streams, but it's part of the Streamlabs music, and it's called The Time Has Come, and it's based on League of Legends. Artist Eric Jones Lebrons. Yeah, The Time Has Come. That's what's the name. It's part of the Streamlabs music library, so we just put it as a background. And we have a lot of characters. 24, 27, 26, without counting the guys.
Trying to make sense. this night. Let the truth be told, 'cause they've done nothing right. One false move and we're back at the start. Didn't see it coming, it ripped out the heart. Things from the bottom are so much worse. Didn't find what you needed while sifting through the dirt. Standing on top of this mountain of filth. No more to the story, time to shed the guilt. Now all the king's horses and all the king's men would trade their own lives for his head. We're bringing down the giant once and for all, 'cause the time has come. All the king's horses and all the king's men once saw a hero but turned their eyes red. Bringing down the giant once and for all, the time has come.
Now the hand. A lot of artists have a hard time drawing hands. You notice a lot of the cartoons characters use gloves. That's a easier way to draw a hand. So that's why Mickey Mouse, all those characters use gloves. That's a way for the artist to save time and money. Once again, everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. If you have a question, please ask away. I think we're gonna be 10 more minutes, give or take. Hi, Ian. Gian. Well, it's going well, but we fall behind a little bit. We wanted to release it around yesterday and today, but since there's a lot of images in the release, it took our artists a little bit more. And like I was telling a couple of minutes ago, drawing Brienne is really complicated because of the hair. It's really hard to draw and it takes a little more time. We didn't want to rush the update. So I think it's gonna be out next week. Hopefully the middle of the next week it's gonna be out. Most of the art, it's gonna have two stories like last update. We're gonna try to make it a standard to every update have 2 stories. And other stories already finished. Right now we're stuck with this one, with Brian's story. So sadly it took us a little bit more longer than we hoped. But I think it's gonna be out, give or take, Wednesday or Thursday of the next week. We'll be announcing once we get closer. But yeah, I think we're only missing a couple of images and the animations, Brienne animations. So yeah, I think next week's gonna be out. Yeah, I mean, as like a developer, I think we have to be more focused on the quality of the images rather than the speed. Yeah, I wish we could make the updates faster, but that would make the images lousy, ugly. So I rather take an extra week and make sure that the images are really nice. I've seen a lot of games that they start with a really good content, and as the time goes by, the content kind of goes down, the quality of the content goes down, and a lot of patrons stop supporting the game, so they eventually lose interest in it. Thanks, man. Thanks for your words. We try to listen the most we can to the characters, to the players. Sorry, we have to listen to them, put attention to what they say, because at the end of the story, they are the ones who give us the path we have to take. So thanks for the comments. We enjoy making the game, but if the players don't like it, there's no point in making them. Yeah, and we've seen a lot of. Imagine companies like what's the name? Project Red. They have hundreds of developers. And the mess of the game they made when they launched Cyberpunk. So, but they rush things into production. That's what happens at the end. So no, we rather keep steady pace, but have something really nice at the end. But without taking that much time. We don't like to take more than two months. That's a lot. And there's a lot of games that take longer than that, and we want to try to be different from other games that they take 3 or 4 months. We try to make it 2 months so patrons and players can enjoy new content constantly. Yeah, it's really hard to create the personalities, the speech pattern. Some of the girls say sweetie, some of them say honey, some of them say sugar. It's really hard to come up with very different personalities like it should. I think one of the hardest thing of creating a character is the personality. The images you just can take bits from here, from there, but the personality is really hard to think about. So every time we create a character, we have to think, okay, is this character gonna be a stick in the mud? Is gonna be a slut? Is gonna be a prude? Is gonna be a girl who is full of herself? Or is gonna be a nice girl? So it's complex. It's really enjoyable to create characters, and it's more enjoyable to create the personalities. I think the hardest part is the personality rather than the drawing per se. So yeah, it's fun to create the personalities. Summertime, I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the first games I played. But if you put attention to the personalities, talking about the personalities, almost all the characters have the same personality. They just copy and paste the personality between the characters, and we don't want to do that. And sadly, when we wanted to create the character with shorts, the main outfit was going to be shorts or boxers. But after seeing that they did the same thing in Summertime Saga, we opted to put him pants, so we don't fall in the scene of creating something similar than they did. But it's in the high school, so a bunch of stories gonna be the same. Sadly, there's so much things that we can create without making it look as we copy it from another game. But and Summertime is actually quite a fun game, and it's very I like it a lot. But they take months to create. They take 5 or 6 months to make it. So I don't know. They only the developer, and they have a lot of money to hire new developers, but I don't know what's their priorities. If I were them, I would be hiring more artists, more coders, and try to give an update every 2 months. But well, everybody has their own. But well, each development firm have their own reasons. But yeah, I like Summertime Saga. I like it. But we try not to do the same thing. But well, thanks everybody for being here with us. I think we're gonna do another stream next week. We're gonna try to do Sunday streams. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for your support, and I hope we talk to you guys again next Sunday. Have a great day, and for all of you that are celebrating Father's Day, happy Father's Day. And